This dark. Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous from scratch series. Raw material gathering near Gav's Hope. Kind of need to get down the mountain a little bit, so we'll go after this one. Or down the sides of the crater. Collecting raw materials. After we finish this video, we'll probably go back to Gav's Hope and collect some more manufactured materials for a couple of videos, and then we might come back here and do some more raw materials. It just takes so much raw material gathering to fill up your raw materials. When we fill up our raw materials and our manufactured materials, we'll go out to Jameson Crash Site and collect some encoded materials, and at some point we'll go back and try to collect some of those 50 million credit cargo runs. That was pretty crazy. You can check those out. Our last cargo runs, those are pretty wild. They're kind of nice, but they've done away with the cheap tritium. So we'll be watching for the cheap tritium just to see if they come back. And we won't do any tritium dashes for a while, because it's a little expensive now. But if we can gather cargo missions at 50 million per run, that's pretty good. But be sure to look to the lower right hand corner of the video and press that subscribe button. That would really help us out with YouTube. YouTube requires that we have 1,000 subscribers. And after about 11 months and 1,250 videos, we have around 200 subscribers. So as you can tell, at the moment it's not working. So we need more of you to subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Did I mention it was free? Yeah, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Well, we need 1,000 subscribers, so when YouTube starts putting ads on our site, even though we're not eligible to collect any of it, they collect all of it. So they're using our videos to make money, and we get nothing. But you're able to change that, because you can get us up to that 1,000 subscribers, and then we get a portion of it. So we need your help there. But at the moment, it's not fair. Not even close to being fair. But in our society nowadays, nothing is fair. Everything is just to benefit the YouTube, Twitter, all of them. That's why they censor free speech. It's all about them. It's not about you. They don't care about you. But we really need help to keep this thing rolling. Now, if we could get more subscribers higher than less than 1%, we would start taking requests and things like that of what kind of videos to create, and we'd create more diverse videos. Of all kinds of things, but we're not getting enough subscribers to really do that. It's just whatever I enjoy doing is what we do currently. But if we could get more of you to subscribe, then we could do more things, take more suggestions. But we're doing pretty good. We got our main account, which has a fleet carrier with all the services except for black market. It has an upkeep of 25 million a week. We have 4 pythons. Well, we have a total now 5 pythons and 4 cutters and a vulture. And now those on our main account are pretty well upgraded through the engineers to a max. Now here in the From Scratch series, we're still working on that. Working with all the engineers again. So we have currently 5 copies of Elite Dangerous. So over time, we'll be using all 5 of them. We have the Beginnings, which uses 1 that we haven't brought forward in a while. We'll probably do that. Work on that one probably next. And see, that one would be okay. But it'll take us a while to get to a stopping point on this alt account. I'm thinking within, say, 6 months we could max out an account. But because they're so inexpensive, and the latest one we got was from Epic, and it was free just for setting up an Epic account and adding Elite Dangerous. That was all free. So of course we did that one. The account prior to that one, I got it for $7.49. I think I can handle $7.49. Even if that's the cheapest I can get them in the future. I got it from humblebundle.com, and that was pretty good. And several before that, I think I paid $15. That's just not terrible. It's bad now since you can get them so cheap now, but it wasn't that bad at the time. And I think about $20 is what I paid for my first copy of Elite Dangerous and Horizons together. A little over a year ago. But because Elite Dangerous doesn't have profiles, you can have multiple accounts. And they can be your profiles. That's what I'm doing now. As Frontier calls them, they're alt accounts. And yeah, I have 4 alt accounts in the main account. So you can do that also. You can also transfer credits from your main account to your alt accounts by using the I forget. When I think about it, I'll bring it up again. Be sure to look underneath the video to the far left, and you'll see our YouTube channel, GeoFilm_RDG. You can watch more of our videos. As I get older, I have blackouts of memory, so I have to, when I can remember it, then I bring it up. That's a good reason to watch more of my videos, because as I think of things, I bring them up. Commodities is what I was trying to think of. Yeah, you can use the commodities market on the fleet carrier to buy low and sell high from and back to the fleet carrier to transfer credits. We're up to 10.6 billion of credits in our main account. I do need to push some of those over to this alt account. We're at over 400 million right now on the in this alt account, but we're going to start using the alt account to gather cargo or to transport cargo instead of the main account for a while. Could leave that 10.6 in there for upkeep. Probably got like 9 years worth of upkeep in there. Definitely over 8 years. Especially since we can make about 50 million per load in cargo, which is pretty sweet. That was, I believe that was part of the balancing, and boy, it's nice. I can do the cargo thing. Yeah, you have to deal with interdictions, but for 50 million a load, I could deal with an interdiction or two. If you keep your stacked missions low, like under 5, you can keep them 2 and under. The interdiction's down. And as much money as you can make right now, or credits you can make right now, yeah, very, very, very nice. At some point, we need to go to Hippolyte Hub, which is the raw material traders, is there, and move things around, and go out to antimony site, collect materials there, go back to Hippolyte Hub, and just keep doing that with like selenium and ruthenium and all of those to work on our raw materials. But in our alt account, we only have 1 ship at the moment. We might have more in the future, but 1 ship is really fine in our alt accounts. As long as I have a Python, I'm good. So, it is my favorite ship. Works real well. But I do have 4 Pythons and 4 cutters and a vulture. In my main account. Well, there's like 3 others of these. And yes, I need 1 completely maxed out account, like we have with the fleet carrier and the 10 ships and all of that. And that does work real well. And then work on the alt accounts. I need to get them to at least 1 billion. Maybe even to like 10 billion per alt account. Like I said, I can move the alt account so that rock we hit is floating. There's not much more I really want to do with our main account, because it is really maxed out. But at some point, I don't know how long it'll take, but we'll see. We'll say that's enough for our alt account. So we'll call it maxed, and we'll work on the beginnings series to bring it up to speed. Please look underneath the video in the description. You find ways to donate and join our Patreon, find our fleet carrier, add tritium to it. Yeah, tritium has got expensive since cargo missions were balanced, where we can make 50 million per load on cargo. The tritium has, well, there's no more discount tritium, we'll put it that way. The 4,000 unit tritiums, we can't find those right now. It's not that we have to have it, we have plenty of tritium right now, and we're not going to buy any for a little while. They'll see if they'll run some discounted tritium. And if they will, we'll wait for that to happen. We'll keep watching it between videos for discounted tritium. Keep topping it off if we can. I'm hoping there's discounted tritium at times, so we can do a tritium dash. I think that would be logical, because it does make for an exciting time, because you got to hurry, or they'll run out of tritium, so you're loading them as fast as you can load them. So I think it's a pretty good thing. So I would guess that they would have some at times, maybe not at 4,000, but even if they had it at 20,000, you know, people would rush to get 20,000 tritium. And it makes for an exciting video. At the moment, it's hard to get too bored with cargo missions when you can make 50 million credits per load. Like, oh my gracious. Yeah, we can do that. I did get a little tired of it after about 800 million. Well, it's probably 700 or 800 million, somewhere in there. It's like, let's go do something else. Come back and do cargo missions again at some point. Of course, especially at 50 million. But loading materials between engineer runs is still pretty good. We move it to a higher grade, and then we'll come collect some more and use it with the engineer, and then move it to a higher grade, and we just keep doing that. Like with the burst lasers, we were able to upgrade to grade 2, pin the blueprint, and then when we got to the material trader, we were able to finish out grade 3. And that works too, as long as it'll pin, because a lot of times it says it pinned, but then it really didn't. But this last time it actually did, so that was really good. But I enjoy cargo missions, especially when we make as much as we did this last time. That was really sweet. Made me enjoy it again. So even if we don't find an engineer that really helps us, like right now, I think we're actually pretty good. But we'll look at it. We'll look at it, see where we're at. See what needs to be upgraded, and if one of those we can unlock. See what we got. The tighter the signal, the closer it is. So these that are all spread out, that means it's further away. Sometimes we have to do it. In the next video, we'll go back to Dab's Hope and collect manufactured materials for a couple of videos, and then we'll come back here again until we completely fill everything up, and then we'll go out to Jameson crash site for encoded materials. And it's always trying to spin you out. It can be frustrating at times. Now the crystalline shards is the best place to get grade 4 materials, but it's 1700 light years each way. So it's kind of a ways out there. And because we're only working on one ship, we really don't have to have that many. Now, eventually, when we have all of our alts on the fleet carrier, we'll take the fleet carrier out and upgrade all of them. We'll take them first all to the material trader, move things off of grade 4s, and then collect those grade 4s. So, a little while before we do that. we use phosphorus for fuel. It only takes 1 phosphorus and 1 sulfur to fill our fuel tank through synthesis. Is this right? So you go to modules, down to fuel tank, click on that, and it says for 1 sulfur, 1 phosphorus, we can refuel the SRV. And we can do that 125 times right now. So that's how you do it. That's how you use synthesis. Now you can wait till you completely run out of fuel, as long as you got at least 1 sulfur and 1 phosphorus. Then you can fill the SRV. Now we could do it 125 times because we have 125 of one of them and 135 of the other, so we can at least do it 125 times, which we don't need it to do it that many times, so we're good. And by the time we run out, we'll end this video anyway and go back to Dev's Hope. We do have 4 SRVs. 3 of them are completely full at 100%. So we can just use one of those. I don't think we're that close to filling anything up right now because we've moved enough that we really don't even have to worry about that at the moment. Helps us out in the future. You grind the materials and you grind credits. You can do those. You've got it made. Just get familiar with your controls and or the keyboard if you're using that. You understand all of it, you're good. I use a VR because I like to be immersed as if it's real. It feels real in a VR, so I would recommend it highly. Now when you first get your VR, be ready just to be able to play about 15 minutes at a time because of motion sickness. Takes a little getting used to. That's what I had to do. I could play for about 15 minutes and had to wait an hour, sometimes 2, before I could play again because of the motion sickness. But I promise you, it does go away eventually. It only took me a couple of weeks and I was over it. I can play as long as I want now. And it really doesn't bother me. Sometimes it bothers me a little. And that's still after maybe an hour of playing. So then I might just take a little bit longer break and then come back. There's how rough it is. Sometimes the terrain is really rough. And then it'll bother me a little, but not enough that I can't play. I do have a HP Reverb G2. Should get it. Well, it hadn't even shipped yet. It's supposed to have already shipped, but so I don't know what the deal is with that. But it's supposed to within the next few weeks. I'm going to keep fussing at them though, because they keep telling me one thing and it keeps getting delayed. And I ordered it pre-ordered on September the 7th. And as you can tell, it's been a while. As of the recording of this video, I still don't have it. So I do have an Oculus Rift S. So it's not a terrible VR. I mean, it's still a pretty good VR. It's got a major screen door. Like looking through a screen door. That's why they call it a screen door effect. and the reverb does not supposed to have one, so I'm looking forward to the reverb. But at least I have a good VR at the moment. Next year, I always use my bonuses from work to buy additional VR stuff. I'll probably get a better graphics card, or liquid cooled or something. I think heat is what causes most of my problems, but there'll be times where it's non-stop rebooting my machine, and then for the last week or two it hadn't rebooted once on its own. So really nice. It's just like, well, nothing really changed though. Why is it not rebooting now? So I don't know what the deal is. If you watch enough of my videos, you know I have plenty of complaints about this game. But I do like the game. I play it more than any other game, and I keep getting drawn back to it. But there's still things they could improve. Things that I really don't like, but what can I do? I can't force them to fix it. I've complained enough trying to get them to fix some things, to give you the settings where you can decide how many interdictions you want or not. If you want none, or low amount, or medium amount, or high amount, that's what I wish they had in the settings. So if the interdictions just drive you absolutely nuts, put it on the lowest setting of interdictions per Super Cruise run. That's what I would like to see. And where it tries to spin you out and point you in the opposite direction, where you could set that too. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. I doubt very few like it. But Frontier keeps saying they want us to play the way we want to play. And at the moment, that's not true. That's just talk. They don't care about us playing the way we want to play. They want us to play the way they want us to play, but they say they want us to play the way we want to play. It's kind of talking out both ends. They're really good about that. They're experts at talking out both ends. So you're constantly having to reorient yourself because they're always doing stuff like what you just saw, where you'll catch air when you hit, it totally spins you and points you in the opposite direction that you were going. But usually you can turn 180 degrees and then you will go back to where you were going, because that's what they do. It's 180 degrees all the time. So yep, I got plenty of complaints. And I'm sure I'll always have plenty of complaints, because they'll never truly listen to their players. They'll say they will, but not really. It's all talk. Let's see how much time. Yep. We've run out of time, so we'll see about collecting on this one. And in the next video, we'll go back to Bab's Hope. That's what I really need to be doing, is doing 2 videos at Dab's Hope and then 2 near Dab's Hope for raw materials, then 2 at Dab's Hope for manufacturing materials. I need to go back and forth. Well, I do appreciate you coming along, and I do appreciate all those that have subscribed to our channel. We just need far more. You get stuck on those little rocks all the time. So I appreciate you coming along. Hopefully you come along again. Hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button. It's free and we could really use it. And watch more of our videos at GFM_RDG. So until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.